In the last video, I explained why premium clients choose based on safety, not explanations, and why authority positioning reduces resistance before the sales conversation even begins. So here's the deeper issue. If authority creates safety, why are so many experienced consulting firms still stuck, reacting to opportunities instead of attracting them? In this video, I'll show you why the real growth constraint isn't about how many proposals you win or the number of referrals you get. It's about the lack of clear differentiation and having a reactive marketing model. You'll see how this keeps firms completely trapped in comparison with unpredictable pipelines and price pressure. And what has to change if you want consistent growth in the acquisition of premium clients? Because once you understand this structural flaw, you'll stop blaming the market and start fixing your positioning. Most consultancy firms find differentiation a challenging concept. When you look closely at how they describe themselves, you'll hear things like, "We provide tailored solutions. We work closely with our clients. We deliver measurable results." The problem is, your competitors are saying exactly the same things. Most consulting firms in the same field offer very similar services, which is the result of everyone having a similar education and developing traditional business models. The real problem is if your messaging could be copied and pasted on another firm's website without anyone noticing, you're not differentiated. And if you're not clearly differentiated, premium clients have no choice but to compare you with your competitors. Comparison is what creates price pressure. Comparison is what leads to needing competitive proposals. Comparison is what keeps you stuck. Not because you're not good, but because the market can't clearly see why you're different. When we work with our clients, we have a method for helping you think through these challenges and develop a strategic authority marketing system. I've created a short guide that shows you how this process works. If you want to dig deeper into authority positioning and create a foundation for growth for your firm, check out the description below for the link to access the Consulting Growth Code, which sets out the exact steps you need to take in the correct order to position your firm as the market authority and end your challenges around differentiation forever. Most owners and leaders of consulting firms understandably struggle with how to differentiate their firms. How can you look different when there is so much similarity? But when you lack clear differentiation, your marketing tends to be directionless and reactive. You wait for referrals to come in, RFPs to arrive, you want more networking opportunities and hope to get more introductions. You respond to whatever appears. Instead of shaping demand, you respond to demand. And that subtle shift in control changes everything. Because when you're reactive, your pipeline is unpredictable, your marketing is inconsistent, and your revenues fluctuate. And you take on clients you wouldn't choose if you had options. You're not leading the market, you're responding to it. In the last video, we talked about how premium clients choose based on safety. Here's the key link. When your positioning is unclear and your differentiation is weak, you don't look like the safe choice. You look like one of several options. And when you're one of several options, clients compare. When they compare, they evaluate. When they evaluate, they look for justification. That's when your proposals enter the process. That's when price becomes a discussion point. And that's when your growth slows down. Not because you lack expertise, but because you haven't created any market authority. The traditional consulting growth model tells you to network harder, ask for more referrals, respond to more tenders, get in front of more opportunities, but none of those solves the core issue. If you're not clearly differentiated, more activity just creates more comparison. It increases volume but not leverage. It keeps you busy but not scalable. That's the structural flaw. It focuses on activity instead of positioning. If you want to move from being reactive to having strategic growth, two things must change. First, you need clear differentiation. That means doing the thinking required to be able to communicate, firstly, a defined problem you're known for solving, secondly, a defined type of client you're known for helping, and thirdly, a defined approach that is recognisably yours. Secondly, instead of being reactive, you need proactive strategic authority marketing. Instead of waiting for opportunities, you systematically publish your thinking, educate the market, frame the problems in your language, and demonstrate your methodology before the sales conversation even takes place. That's how you stop reacting and start attracting. When differentiation is clear and authority is visible, you no longer compete on similarity. You're chosen for specificity. Your pipeline becomes more predictable. Your conversations become more aligned, and your clients become more selective, and so do you. You're no longer dependent on random introductions or unpredictable tenders. You've moved away from being one of many to being the one obvious choice for a specific problem. The reason most consulting firms struggle to grow isn't because the market is crowded, it's because they're not clearly differentiated and their marketing is reactive. Once you fix differentiation and build authority around it, everything else changes. Sales feel easier, conversations feel higher quality, and growth becomes more predictable. So the question becomes, what does real differentiation actually look like in practice? And how do you build authority around it in a structured way? I've created a short guide that shows you how to do that. If you want to dig deeper into authority positioning and how to create a foundation for growth for your firm, check out the description below for the link to access the Consulting Growth Code, which sets out the exact steps you need to take in the correct order to position your firm as a market authority and end your challenges around differentiation forever. In the next video, I'll walk you through the 3 core pillars of strategic growth and show you how to implement this in a way that creates leverage instead of more activity. I'll see you there.